So the question is, what supplements are we taking today? Because it is a BPI training series. So the stack's the pretty basic stack. Early morning, start off with the 1MR Vortex pre-workout. Instead of having like 8 cups of coffee to get me going, I had 1 scoop of this. Ready to rock, pump, energy, water efficiency, great product. 1MR Vortex pre-workout. Mark's gonna be using intra-workout.
Best aminos, #1 ranked amino acid on the market right now. It's a hot day out, so I'm gonna use this to help me stay hydrated. Tastes great, mixes great. It's gonna help get through this long workout.
And then real quick, what's the benefit of taking a branched chain amino acid product while you work out?
It's gonna help flush out the lactic acid, help keep your muscles fresh, and start the repair process while you're working out.
So shoulder stretch.
Shoulder stretch.
Okay, listen, I cannot do the front rack.
We're gonna fix that.
I guarantee we won't.
We'll fix that.
You're not the first CrossFitter that thought they could put me into a front rack.
Grab your elbows up.
Oh man, I can't even do it. Here. This is a big thing in the weightlifting world, and Mark is actually an Olympic lifting guy. He's done CrossFit too, and there's a lot of overlap there. But people who follow the workouts know that bodybuilding, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, CrossFit, they're all different cousins in the same family. This is called the front rack position, and you do a lot of lifts from it. The thing is, people that aren't used to this kind of lifting don't have this kind of shoulder mobility, and it really is like the CrossFit snobs, this is their #1 line in the sand.
Yes.
If you can't do this, you suck, and then if you want to get a little bit more hardcore, a muscle up will be their next thing where they get all self-righteous on you. So Mark, I did do a weightlifting competition, and cleans were part of it. It was called Power X, you probably haven't heard, but it's like maximum weight you could do for 20 reps. So I did 205 for 20 on the cleans, which is pretty good weight.
Yeah.
I didn't get to the front rack position once. To be honest with you, I probably had to work harder, right?
Yes.
I mean, I'm finishing here and holding the weight and looking to get my 1 rep counted.
Yes.
Whereas the front rack, if I could actually get it,
yes.
like
when you're holding it,
yep.
When you're holding it up, how you were holding it up.
Yep.
This is gonna put a big strain on his shoulders, on his lats, on his biceps, on his triceps. So he's actually working harder to hold this weight up. If we can get it to where it can rest here, he's just using his body's natural positioning to hold up the barbell.
And then in an Olympic lift, I'd be able to use some of my...
Exactly.
See that move? So as we dig into our shoulder workout here in my home gym training series, I don't mind saying my normal shoulder workouts are pretty routine. That's not to say that they're easy, but military press, a lot of shrugs, upright rows, side laterals, maybe some kettlebell swings, a lot of delts, a lot of traps. With Mark here today, I'm gonna get a new element, the Olympic lifting element. It's a lot of explosive lifting, a lot of stuff driven by your entire kind of upper shoulder girdle area here. Overhead pressing in some of the things. I know because I've tried it, although I don't do it recently. We're gonna try some snatches and Mark's gonna coach me through them. But that is a tremendous amount of delts, front delt, and then up to here, it's a lot of traps, and of course you're using some core to drive it. So that'll be a new element to my training routine, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to have an Olympic lifting aficionado like Mark here. But the basic routine that I would follow, a lot of what you see in my regular series. 2 or 3 exercises tied together, starting with something heavy and broad like the military press. I might superset that with side laterals into my upright rows and run about 4 or 5 or 8 laps through that.
Baseball bat, rooftop like we bringing 88 back.
You guys ever listen to Nas? You too young? So I think what we're gonna do today, probably just do about 4 sets of 10. Normally I do pyramid a little bit, but I'm trying to save a little bit of shoulder energy for what Mark's got in store. So I was going 9 over the 75, but 3 sets of 10 to 75 is my move. So look, military press, you normally want to be, you can't be at a 90-degree angle. I'll be honest with you, this is an awesome bench and it's fully adjustable, incline, decline. If we went up a little further, it would look a little better on video. This is a 65-degree angle. We got it marked pretty clearly on there. It feels great on the shoulders, and I always have that chip on my shoulder that if it's not the hardest possible way to do an exercise, you're somehow getting one over on everybody. But I'm pretty comfortable doing it here and it feels great, so we're gonna keep rocking them. These are mine or yours? This is 75. Come on. Gotta get some heavier weights. I'm holding myself back. Gonna get to the snatches and the cleans. Gonna go outside the garage, so we got the headroom. I think Mark's out here warming it up already. So this is all new terrain to me. I mean, actually I like cleans. I know we're starting with the snatches here, and that is, that's ground I know nothing about. So I'm gonna pick this up. What's my goal with the first exercise? I know she took a really wide grip.
Yes.
Really wide.
With the snatch, you want the barbell to hit your hip pocket, right in that hip crease.
Here?
No, your hip crease, so much higher.
Here?
Much higher, yes. So you want to take a much wider grip because we want our arms to be straight. Yes, right there. So the goal would be, once it hits there, we shrug up really aggressively with our shoulders, traps, bringing the barbell up over our head, and in one fluid movement, you catch the barbell.
Wow, okay, so one thing I'm noticing, my driveway has a very slight grade to it. That's gonna make this shit tricky. Maybe we should turn around, face the other way once we get some weight on the bar. I'd rather be falling uphill than down.
Yes. So as I'm walking up to the barbell, I'm gonna adjust it with my grip, making sure that it's at a proper grip so I can bring the barbell into my hip pocket without having to bend my arms.
I will say this, the cardio is tough on these.
Yes.
I mean, it's a full body exercise, so definitely takes a little wind out of you. I predict this will be too heavy for me to do because that 95 pounds hurt. I also skinned my knee on the bar because I'm a pussy. And yeah, all in all, little tentative vibe on this. But you know what? Just gotta keep going. All right, Mark, a little wider was my advice.
Yes. So before you even lift, we're gonna address some of the form. So grab the barbell, pull it in close to you. I would say even a little bit wider. Right there. Yep. Okay.
Okay, I don't know about this, but I'm gonna listen to you.
It's gonna work.
Okay.
You're gonna drop your hips, chest up, squeeze right here, activate your lats. Good. So pull it in your hip, and then perfect. And then we'd want to explode up. Use those legs, use those big traps, shrug up, barbell's gonna fly.
Okay. For everybody watching this series, here's what's really gonna happen. I'm gonna muscle it into place for a couple reps. It's gonna hurt, and I'm gonna feel embarrassed. I only got one more, because it is hard as fuck. Ah, I skinned my fucking knee again. Oh.
So, the biggest difference between Chris's world and my world, Chris is all about using muscle and wanting to activate those muscles. Where in my world, actually the less muscles you use, the better it is, if that makes sense. This is all momentum and it's all proper mechanics. Less muscle, better off for you.
Okay, I do want to say this. You're right. But that was both awesome cardio and really got my shoulders pumped.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep going. But show us how it's done, Mark. And one question before you go. If you were a real weightlifting guy, everybody would want to know how much you bench press. Well, you're an Olympic weightlifting guy. How much can a guy like you do on a snatch?
My all-time best snatch was 265.
And that was in whatever, 85 kilos or something like that? Or?
Yeah, that was me weighing in at 85 kilos at my competition weight.
How did you do with that competition with that weight?
Good. Took first, and I qualified for the American Open series. Hopefully I'll be doing in July.
So if I can muscle 265 pounds into that position, I'm going to the Nationals.
If you can do it in one fluid movement and not pausing, yes, you are going to a national meet.
I have a feeling I'm not going to the Nationals. Let's see another good set. You want more weight or what? What's your plan?
Yeah, we'll put a 10 on.
Okay, I got bumper plates and metal.
So we're gonna perform what's called a muscle snatch. This is what Chris is doing.
Corn?
Yes.
Okay.
So the muscle snatch is a movement that we use as an accessory to build strength for this lift, but to still keep the form in the proper way. With this, we want to use actually more muscle than we do explosive technique, but still using explosive technique. A lot of these lifts are all about muscle memory. That's why you see so many high-end lifters start at the age of 10, 11, because it needs to be embedded. This needs to be muscle memory. This needs to be almost a natural reaction and not you thinking about the lift.
You got me on these, boy. I will go heavier though. Here we go. Guys, need to get a feel for it. It is a heavy weight. This is where my technique's gonna start hurting, or lack of technique. Fuck.
Okay. For those that are watching, the biggest issue that Chris is having is he's having a slight pause to the hip.
Yep.
And that's the problem. This movement has to be almost like an acceleration aspect. You start slow, you build speed. As soon as you pause, you are now stopping all of that momentum, which is then making this weight a dead stop. So then you're basically trying to lift 185 pounds from here with zero momentum.
All right, fuck this, I'm lifting it.
Don't stop.
I'm not.
One thing Chris can do is just continue to keep pulling and stop pausing at his hip. If he doesn't pause at his hip, this weight is gonna go up.
Well, one thing I will tell you guys, one of my basic philosophies in weightlifting that applies here is just don't be a wussy. And sometimes I use a P instead of a W when I say that, but I'm keeping it PG. Just don't be a fucking pussy. Just lift the weight. All right, swing and a miss. What are you gonna do? Little nastiness. I mean, that's the downside of having a really quality bar. I got great kerning on there and it's sharp. Downside is it's sharp. All right, moving on to what's next. This is typical Chris McKenzie workout style we're doing now. We're gonna do shrugs, moderately heavy. This is the base. Before we do that though, we're gonna start with some kettlebell swings, because I love that for front delts. After that, we're gonna go to side lateral raises with the dumbbells. Here we go, just march through these rounds.
So I'm gonna do something a little bit different. For weightlifting, everything's about going overhead. So when I do my side lateral raises, I actually bring it up over to complete extension to build that overhead stability. So the main difference is instead of just stopping at lateral, I come all the way up. This is also great if you're having any flexibility issues in your shoulders. Before going overhead, this is going to be great to help loosen up your shoulders. So it kind of serves as a double benefit. You're getting the strength aspect, but also loosening up the tendons, the joints, to go and hold this position up overhead.
So what we're doing here is a little bit more the classic Chris McKenzie style with the giant sets. This workout broke out a little different than normal, kind of three parts. We had the dumbbell overhead press. Normally I'll superset that with upright rows or something. Today we just did that isolated and we didn't go that heavy. Then we focused on those snatches, which was really new and an opportunity to learn. But here's what I always like. Fast-paced, cardio, multiple muscle groups, multiple movements, and a lot of sets and a lot of rounds. If we do 5 laps through here, that'll be 15 sets. We're gonna do 15 sets in about 20 minutes. It's a great pace, hard work, it makes you stronger and gives you the cardio benefits. So one thing I really believe, heavy shrugs are a real great mass and strength builder. And great thing about shrugs like deadlift is you can always criticize people's form, knees are bent or whatever, but really you either get it or you don't get it. And I will say this, just hanging on and being able to muscle around and maneuver 400, 500, 600, maybe even if Mark feels like going for it, 700 pounds on the bar, just being able to hold that, I promise you that your traps and then down through the lower part of your trap, that shit will be so sore the next day that you will email BPI and thank me for the training tip. My name's Chris, by the way. I got a problem. Hang on. My wrap just gave out on me. Round 2. Oh, it's slipping out of my hands. Got the last round of our circuit here. For this last one, I'm gonna do just the shrugs, then maybe catch my breath and hit some swings and delts. Pretty heavy, like I said, you always wanna get at least one heavy one in, and let's test the limits. Yeah, it's slipping on my grip. All right. Whew.
And the hop.
Barely held on to that one. But, I'll tell you this, my traps are killing. All right, whew.